Yeah, in my younger days I lost in the competition. Like competing wasn't something that came naturally to me. The first two competitions I went in when I was a young kid, I really had no idea what I was doing, and the feelings I had afterwards were feelings I'd never experienced in my life either. Like, I started surfing because I loved it, and now when I went surfing in these competitions, I'd come out just not feeling happy about myself. And I couldn't figure out, this is a good thing or a bad thing. And something inside me, I didn't know what it was at the time, just changed where I didn't want to lose anymore. Like, there's only two competitions, but but those two competitions were enough to get me thinking about competitions and how do judges judge, and what do I need to do so judges can see me. I started thinking all about me, and like, how can they see me being the better surfer than everybody else? And I can't really remember what I did, but the next competition, I just didn't stop surfing like in the heats. I just surfed and caught heaps of waves, and I just stayed active, and for some reason when I came in after those heats, I felt really happy about myself, and it wasn't, I was making it through these heats and winning them, but there was something more about trying and trying and trying, and the end result was the win. I think I started competing when I was about 11 or 12. I started going in just local surf competitions and things like that. But anyway, I ended up winning my first competition, and I was so stoked. I was so over the moon. It was ridiculous. I was beaming, and the feeling of winning my first competition, it was a feeling that I wanted more and more and more of. And I can't really figure out what it was. Like, was it because on that day I was better than everybody? So that meant that I was the best, which meant that if I was the best on that day, then I'm the best surfer on the beach. And being the best surfer on the beach was like, yeah man, that's really, really cool. And I ended up getting a local sponsorship. I got given my first free surfboard, and then a local surf shop gave me a wetsuit, and from then on it was pretty tough to beat me. I was 12, 13 years old. Every now and then I'd lose to my good friends, but that really made me work harder. My life changed a lot when I started becoming a competitor. Nothing else mattered but competing. Nothing. I had this is right up until I was, early 20s even. Like, I had no interest in women. I had no interest in partying. I had no interest in school. I really wanted to win and win and win and win. And I developed a contest strategy that suited me really well, and I practiced it every time I went out in a heat. Maybe even if it was the first round, I'd practice that contest strategy. Catch 3 waves really fast. Once you've got your 3 waves, then start doing more progressive manoeuvres. That was when Kelly Slater just come on the scene, and he made a video called Black and White. He was doing these aerials and tail slides and things like that. So those are some of the manoeuvres that I was hoping to try and do in my heats. And being a grommet, you think you can do everything. So that was my contest strategy for years and years and years. Catch 3 waves really fast, and then work on improving those waves. And that basic strategy really kept me on the winners podium. I was 16 when I got my first major contract, and even when I was dealing with businesses in regards to contracts, I had no understanding of contracts, nor did anyone in my family. So as a family, we would try to work together to get me the best contracts and deals that would that would encourage my parents not to fundraise anymore. My parents did a lot of fundraising to get me to where I needed to go. It's not where I wanted to go. My parents knew that I needed to be in Auckland for a contest, or in Gisborne, or in the South Island, so they fundraised. They worked really hard for me. So in return, I worked really hard in the surf. And then we had opportunities to sign contracts, and I was just like looking at these numbers going, man, this is like ridiculous amounts of money just to go surfing. I was like, that's cool. But then it started turning into a headache, Some sponsors were going, are you really worth this much? What can you do for us? And I was like, man, I just want to surf. And at that time in New Zealand, there was no one that was doing sort of like surfing contracts. Someone on the outside of surfers and the surfing corporates that could help me out. But we went through, we signed the deals and stuff, and that got me overseas and got me to where I went, and I was happy because my parents they got to stay at home and didn't have to fundraise. But I was travelling all around the whole world on signing this piece of paper that said, we will pay Daniel Kereopa this much amount of money, and you need to compete in so many contests. And I was like, yeah, that's good. I just want to compete, I want to win. And I won, and everything that I earned along the way went back into my surfing. I never saved any money. Everything that I won went on to maybe my next trip to Europe or things like that. So I wanted at the time to travel the world, experience as much as I could, because at the start of the day I was just a little kid on the farm.